Arm heat is a third resource meter for jacks. Let's say this meter has a maximum of 10 points. In reality, it probably has 100 or some multiple of 100, but for simplicity, let's go with 10. You gain heat 3 different ways. The first method is with punches. You get the idea. By the way, I'm making a separate tutorial for the gotcha grab. Note that blocked punches do not grant any heat at all. Another way you can gain heat is by using the stock move heating up, which is down, down 3. This gives you 2 points. If you amplify it, you get 5. The third way to gain heat is by absorbing projectiles. With the Briggs barricade move found in the Grinning-Barrett variation, which is down back 3, you get 3 points. If you amplify it, you get 5. When you get to 5 points, there's a little spark particle effect on his arms. And another when you get to 10. After gaining heat, there is a 4-second timer that triggers heat loss or cooling of the arms. So after 4 seconds, you start to lose heat unless you gain some to reset the 4-second timer. Let's go over the purpose of heat. Let's say there are 3 levels of damage. Level 1 is 0 to 4 points, and damage is unchanged. When you have reached 5 heat points, you see the smoke effect, and you are now at level 2. And when you reach 10 points, you are now at level 3. At damage level 2, or 5 points, you get a 5% damage buff on your punches, and you get an additional 10 damage, not 10%, but 10 damage for all your different types of throws, with the exception of the 3rd and 4th throws of the quad slam. But I'll cover the quad slam in depth in another tutorial. Let me show you a quick example. The down 2, or the uppercut, does 140. Now let me get 5 units of heat, which will put me at level 2. Does 147. Max heat, 154. Let me show you another example with a throw. Normally does 140. At level 2, does 150 and 160. So as you can see, that is not based on a percentage. At level 3, the damage buff for punches goes from 5 to 10%. So let me illustrate some punches. Normally a 1 does 20. At level 2, does 21. And then 22. The damage buff for throws is very beneficial for the hunker down variation. In addition to the regular throw buff, the buff affects his command throw, both air throws, and the world's greatest Kara throw. Normally does 120, at level 2 does 130, and as you can see at level 3 does 140. If your heat meter is full and don't gain any for 4 seconds, you will start to lose heat as mentioned before. When this happens, there will be a smoke particle effect indicating that you are no longer at level 3. There it is. And another one happens when you get below 5 points. And you moved from level 2 to level 1. Besides all the damage buffs, you can spend heat on heat missiles, which is a stock move, by doing back forward 3, and you can do a second one by adding a 4 after the back forward 3. Each heat missile costs 2 points. As you can see, these projectiles are very fast, and they have a startup of only 11 frames. Speaking of heat missiles, let's get into the heat-related crushing blows. As you can see on the move list, if you connect with the second of the 2 heat missiles on the 6th hit or higher in a combo, you get a crushing blow. Note that for this one you need at least 4 points for the 2 missiles, and also note that this crushing blow doesn't use any additional heat besides the 4 points for the missiles. With that said, let's look at another one. If you are at max heat, you get a crushing blow simply with a successful forward throw. Notice that it uses all your heat. And in the hunker down variation, there are 3 strings with special enders that can trigger a crushing blow if you have full heat. This also uses up all your heat. For some reason, heat buffs do not affect the damage of the up 2, up 3, and the crushing blow from a fully charged back 2. Does 140. Still 140. Now let's look at the fatal blow. As you can see, he punches a lot. More than 10 times. So when the fatal blow is finished, you are maxed out. And now you have heat to cook with. There's one more thing. If the fatal blow does 320 damage without any heat, how much would it do if you started with max heat? $322? It goes up by 2 damage? Not 2%, but just 2? What a bunch of bullshit.